Good morning, everybody. It is the 12th of November. We are Signal Centre Talking Ball. I'm Joe Neighbour, joined by Steve O'Hare and Ian Coleman. Morning, gents.
Morning, lads.
Good morning.
Everybody all right?
All okay.
Yeah. Oh, have you written off Movember now, Joe? Just noticed that.
Oh, yeah. It looked absolutely dreadful, so I had to go.
No, the wife.
I know it's for yeah, the wife. Yeah, I know it's for a good cause, but I wasn't being sponsored by anybody. So she was like, "You're not even getting any money for it, so why are you doing it?" Like, fair point. And it did look awful as well. So
if I'd have known, I would have sponsored you.
Just make a donation.
Yeah,
maybe next year.
£1 a day.
Anyway, markets seem to have calmed down a little bit, given how they started at the start of the week.
Yeah, I have a little bit, haven't I?
News has sort of slowed up quite a bit as well.
Only a matter of time.
You reckon? Or we waiting for Trump's triumphant return?
Well, you never know. All these things that I keep on seeing on Facebook about the dodgy counting, and you would have, if it was actually, I don't know if it's true, but if the actual states were the different states were counted now, it would actually be a different story. But
how does that happen?
God knows. All the false counts, all the dead people, and the double counting, and the missing out of certain counts, and I don't know. I've got two pals who are very massively into the conspiracy theories. In fact, half of Sheffield seems to be at it, especially about COVID, and it's all a scam. And so the Facebook feed is full of it. So if you get bored, I'll give you my sign on, and you can delve in for a few hours if you've got that time to waste.
There's obviously two scenarios which are conspiracy theorists. One for the Biden camp and one for the Trump camp. So
no, these boys are all in together.
All right.
It's COVID and Biden. Yeah, it's just a massive world conspiracy.
Oh, right. So the COVID Biden is the conspiracy side. What about Trump though? He's.
Oh no, he's all right.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where have they been living? Under a rock for the last 4 years? Fuck me.
Yeah. No, he's fine.
It doesn't matter. I don't suppose whoever won or said they won, the other side would be saying exactly the same thing. So it's irrelevant, really. It's just.
Well, I don't think we've seen the last of it. That's for sure.
Yeah, maybe it's that, but that's what the world is like nowadays. You know, anything you sort of, even think nowadays, I think you can get had up for it, can't you? Even if you think badly.
Even thinking.
Yeah, just thinking, you can get done for that, I think.
Well, when they inject you and put this little chip inside you, you really won't be able to think for yourself.
No, exactly.
Oh, so that sounds like a conspiracy. Yeah, so we're not. Don't take the vaccine. Is that what we're saying?
Don't take the vaccine. Yeah,
absolutely.
I won't be able to leave the house or get an aeroplane for the next 10 years. But
talking about airplanes, I just sort of like saw on the calendar. You sort of like you've got a day off every day for the few weeks, and one of them is the last entry is Ian skydive.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Doing a skydive?
Yeah, I booked that the other day. It's
seriously?
Good God.
Yeah, it's the day that we get let out, I think, or the day after we get let out. It's only in Nottingham. They jump 364 days of the year, weather permitting. So it's only an hour's down the road.
Have you done it before?
It was something that I was supposed to do with my sister. So
okay.
So
I thought it might be related to that, but
so I've decided to jump, but just on my own. No charity.
Have you done it before?
No.
Bloody hell! Good luck, mate.
Put a couple of lead weights on my feet as well, just to make sure I get a bit of speed.
Oh, I thought that was going to make sure you reach it to the ground, off somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. All right.
Okay. Yeah, what was you going to say, Steve? We'll go along and watch.
Yeah, no. Maybe we'd just
put some more lead weights on.
Not sit and pray for a few hours. Just sort of like, make sure we hear from you again. That's one thing I don't think I'll ever do.
I'll have one of my little panic attacks when I get up there.
Yeah.
Someone pushing you out the door.
That'll be the wife.
Okay.
Right. You look at
okay. Yeah, we probably should. So, big news out this morning from the UK was that GDP grew by 15.5% over the previous quarter. It was expected to be 15.8, so it was a little bit under, but I think that's a record anyway in terms of growth. And obviously, it's all COVID related, and we're breaking all sorts of records as a result of the pandemic. Also, with regards to Brexit, there seems to be more disruptions on that front. Trying to obviously get a deal done. It looks like we're going to miss this deadline that was set in place for next week, but hopeful that a deal eventually will be completed before the end of the year. And also, it looks like the ECB are set to focus on emergency bond purchases and long-term loans for their next wave of stimulus, which is set to be proposed at the December meeting. They're expected to extend its 1.35 trillion euro pandemic bond buying program. So, a few headlines going on.
Loads of ECB speakers out today.
So you've got the calendar
finishing
up.
with Lagarde at 5:45. So if you look here, we've got it starts all the way down here. De Guindos at 11 o'clock. Then another one, Panetta. Never heard of them.
Yeah, I love the way you pronounce it as well.
Yeah, Schnabel.
That's pancetta.
Yeah, Schnabel at 4:30, and then Lagarde at finishing it all off.
At 4:30, you missed out Bill as well. Bill's at 4:30.
Oh yeah, Bill.
Auction.
Bill auction.
And Fitzwilliams. There's loads of speakers today. I don't know why. We've even got a UK speaker up here, Bailey.
Oh, he's a nice guy.
9 o'clock. 10 minutes.
So 10 minutes. He'll be talking about the GDP number, I'd have thought, and
GDP was shite, wasn't it? Oh, GDP year quarter on quarter, but year on year it's shit, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Let's focus on the quarter on quarter because that sounds brilliant.
Yeah,
industrial sounds like really well.
Industrial production's
crap.
Manufacturing's crap. And supposedly the UK government has warned industry that they're ill prepared for Brexit, which is handy because is it next week the deadline? This incredible deadline that keeps on moving every week.
I think they should just say to themselves that they're ill prepared for Brexit, full stop. They haven't been prepared at all. So don't tell the businesses anything about that. You know, people in glass houses shouldn't really throw stones, should they?
No. They shouldn't.
So it's good to see all the big stimulus coming up from the ECB. Give all that money and all that handout to the banks. That'll help the economy, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And keep it for themselves, and like the man in the street just sort of like tries to get a mortgage, tries to get a loan, and they get kicked back on it. I'm very negative this morning.
You are, aren't you? Should we? Are you selling everything this morning? Then should we have a look at your charts?
Yeah, selling everything.
Got it.
So I'm not going to change my tune. I'm just still going to let's get on the Nasdaq. For me, I'm still short of Nasdaq from the other day. Sticking with it. Got close to my stop last night actually. My stop's at 119.27. I think it got up to 11,927. It got up to 11,926 between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock when my broker was shut. So that was all right. So I did get stopped out. By the time it came back online, it was just below there, but it's come off a little bit overnight since then. The Dow's under a little bit more pressure. It obviously reacted a little bit higher and it's come back. Trading around 29,220, and S&Ps, I think, at the moment on this weekly chart, looking like a shooting star candle. So we may have to wait till next week for this sell-off, which is definitely going to happen.
Definitely.
Put your house on it.
I think it's today.
Don't do that. Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. Don't do that. I don't think anyone listens to me anyway. The China 50. Decent shooting star on that as well. So I think it's it feels like it's this equity indices, as we said, it has run out of steam. The Hang Seng we've talked about, that was very negative back in September. We talked about it. It was sort of leading the way. It's had a decent correction higher, but it's stalled at the July highs and it's reversed sharply from there. So are we going to see a similar sort of move over the coming days? FTSE has obviously outperformed, but it hasn't quite reached the heady heights of the June highs, and it's pulled back a little bit from there. And also DAX stalled, maybe this little head and shoulders formation. double shoulder, so it's a complex formation, and CAC has remained elevated. So from there we go pop across to just have a look at gold. On the weekly chart, we're looking at bearish outside week, so it's negative. The real level to watch in gold, which I'm watching like a hawk, because I'm short of it, is this on the daily chart. We can see the reaction from this level. Let's get another arrow in there, shall we?
Dollar's very flat at the moment, isn't it?
It won't be. Oh, it's a red one.
Ooh.
It shouldn't be a red one. This is the dangerous one. That's what it means. So this line here, this level that we're looking at is $1,850. I believe a break of 1,850, and we'll see a very fast move to the downside. So I'm looking out. I'm short of that at the moment. Stop is that was short from yesterday. Actually, was that your gun to the head trade, Joe?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, my stop is around 1,890. It hovered around about the 1,857 level. That was the low yesterday before it reacted higher into the close. But overnight, it's just started. Well, it's just started to sell off a little bit this morning, so it's a little bit under pressure. 1868 trading. So 1850 would be my ideal sell entry. I've got another order in to get to double up my position if we break 1850. That's where it always goes wrong for me. I'll get a really good position on the side,
add to it, and it goes to shit.
Add to it, and then it's just sort of like, then my whole trading mentality goes out the window. I start to panic, then bring the stop in, get stopped out, and then it comes off. So that's what's going to happen again.
Okay, keep an eye out for that specific play there from Steve. If you, Ian, how's it look on the FX side of things?
We've had a move higher in the dollar index yesterday. I mean, I can't get any.
Are you going to support Steve's gold theory here? Because obviously, if he's short, then we need that to go up. Can you see more upside in that?
Yeah, I mean, this is the big picture. So the big picture is definitely bullish. So looking for a long-term move higher. This is a crab formation, 224, 127.2%. So the big picture is bullish, and we were talking about this low, or we have been talking about this low before, and the fact that these swings are quite hard to decipher. But the fact that we've got very close to this 88.6% pullback of this move might suggest that the dollar is bullish again. It's just, I mean, we've got a bullish outside day here on the 9th of November, often indicates the end of a trend and the start of a new upward bias. But it's just the lack of momentum that sort of worries me at the moment. But yeah, the long-term bias is bullish, but I think we really need to get going. And I think to get going, we're going to have to see indices start to come off and a bit of a run to safe haven. Euro dollar, and again, we talked about this. It's the opposite. So we've got a bearish outside candle. When really we're just lacking downward momentum. I think we need a bit of news to get them all going. Cable was the interesting one yesterday. We hit a confluence zone, which I think we talked about in morning trade here, and we spiked above it. And if you remember, we talked about the fact that as long as we didn't close above it, then it still holds, and we're starting to move lower. But like I was saying, it's sort of, this first move is lacking momentum. I think this is probably going to offer opportunities to get short again on little intraday rallies. And euro sterling, which we said yesterday, was sort of the favoured trade with this confluence area down here. So I can see an aggressive, or a more aggressive move lower in sterling compared to a move lower in euro, because I do think that we're going to get at least a move up to here in euro sterling. Now I think that's going to be backed up with pretty shit news about Brexit and about the UK, basically, and then probably consolidate and make a reverse head and shoulders formation and blah 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 blah. Dollar yen, spoke about this yesterday. It did break a new high, so that formation is gone, and you have to have a rethink. Dollar CAD, again, they're not, these moves up aren't aggressive, and you've got confluence areas a lot lower down. So I'm still not 100% convinced that this this dollar sell-off is finished yet, basically.
Okay.
What else did I look at? I thought Aussie Swiss was quite interesting to the downside, Euro Swiss to the downside, and obviously if Euro sterling goes higher, then sterling Swiss has a tendency to come lower, and that was another one that we talked about yesterday. And it reacted above that 361.8%. But I'll be looking at FTSE for the trade of the day.
Okay. Superb. So let's have a look at the gun to the head stuff from yesterday. I can confirm that we had a hat trick of wins. So there's the uptick in the P&L, as you can see there. And we had wins on gold, dollar yen and euro sterling. So collectively we made 2.56R on the day, which will do very nicely indeed. And hopefully we can keep the momentum going with that and pick 3 winners again today. So Ian, you've got FTSE lined up for us. Do you want to talk us through that?
Yeah, normally when FTSE comes down, the cable will go up. Now we are seeing a little move higher in cable this morning, but I think personally believe that it's just a bad outlook for sterling and the UK in general. So I think what we are going to see, I think we're going to see that reverse correlation move out, and I think we're going to get a sell-off in sterling and we're going to get a sell-off in FTSE. And if we go to the FTSE chart, and we talked about this yesterday as well, so it's not pit perfect, but it's not far out. So it poked its head above the crab formation, and it's starting to move lower. And we talked about these before, and the reason why I really like these overextension cipher patterns is because the aggressive targets are down here, which is 127.2% of the whole move. So I'm going to jump on this one today, and I've got this PA as well. I'm going to have a stop above the high, which is ridiculous, but there you go. It probably won't hit it.
Having the stop above the high.
No, the risk reward. So getting short at 6.328. Stop at 6.410, targeting 5.294.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's hope that comes in today. Steve, what have you got, mate? I'm really struggling myself. That's why I threw you under the bus there.
Yeah, you didn't cheers for that. No, I did. I definitely noticed that. Let me have a little. I was like, just let me flip a coin quickly in the background.
It's like watching you do your normal analysis.
Yeah, exactly. The timing isn't great at the moment, is it? It sort of like feels like we're
just no man's land. A few bits.
There you go. All right, gold. I'm going to go gold. I'm going to back my already short conviction, and the gold trade idea. I'm going to do a really short-term one. I am, as I said to you all, I'm already short of this, so I'll add to it now, and then I'll add to it on a break of the 1850. For this trade, I'll have quite a tight stop. Oh, that's 1890. Let's get a little bit of a tighter one here. 1874. That's the stop. This will what I'll do. I'll get short here at 1867. And I'll target a move down to 1850. The stop is at 1874. That's selling gold at market.
Lovely.
Okay. Oh wow! I still can't find anything. So let's pick something. What are you thinking? Cable lower?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna look at sterling yen. Because I had some sort of top pattern forming on that on the daily. So let's have a look at this quickly. This is I've got it drawn on my other charts, but I was looking at this as maybe a head and shoulders on the daily. So that being the left shoulder, that being the head, and then this latest rally up being, oh, what have I done there? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And I like that shooting star candle that we posted yesterday on the daily chart. I think that came in line roughly with a fib level, just below the 78.6 in there with this hammer candle. So that shooting star there was enough for me to look at getting short. So on the daily chart, I was looking for, at the very least, to move down to the potential neckline of this head and shoulders top. Then obviously if that were to complete, then we could be looking at targets much lower down. But let's take a look at the intraday. This is the hourly. Not overly enthusiastic about what I'm seeing there, but I've got to pick something, so I'm going to set it here. 138.97. Going to go with a stop loss of 50 ticks. 139.50. And target a move down to the swing lows down here at 135.15. So what's that? 7.5 if that plays out from here.
Lovely.
Yeah, not massively enthusiastic about that, but we will see. You've got to be in it to win it, and you never know what can happen. So selling sterling yen.
I might just adjust my target on gold just to move it.
Are you on side already? Are you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just because you're all saying big numbers, and I just, like I said, a 2.3 to 1 risk reward. So I'm going to go for 6.7 to 1. That's a targeting a move to 1820 rather than 1850. The sensible idea.
Okay.
Because that is the measured move target is around about $1,800 if.
You've got to be in it to win it, Steve.
Yeah, exactly. Boom.
Okay, lovely. So news-wise today, Ian touched upon there have been a number of speakers today, particularly from the ECB. In terms of other data to keep an eye out on, we've got US CPI and jobless claims, both out at 1:30 this afternoon. And then after that, we have a 4 p.m. crude inventories, which has been delayed by a day due to it being Veterans Day yesterday, or Armistice Day as we call it. And yeah, keep an eye out on your oil positions if you've got anything on that at 4 o'clock.
Lovely.
Anything else,
Brilliant.
gents?
No, I think we've bored enough people now.
Okay, fair enough. We will be back tomorrow morning then.
Excellent.
Have a good one.
Yeah,
Cheers.
enjoy, lads. Cheers.
Bye-bye.